Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and today we're going to be testing out a mono black mid-range brew. So this was something I wanted to try. There's pretty much all the other monocolor decks right now, but mono black really hasn't made an impact. I think part of the reason being is pretty much all the other colors have their 3 mana creature. Benelish Marshal in white pumps up the team. You have Djinn in mono blue, which scales really well. Goblin Chain Whirler. And then with mono black, you basically get a 3/3 that you just have to pay a lot of mana in to just be a general attacker with no real evasion, trample, protection, nothing really of value. So even in our build here, we're opting to not play it. I tried as well with the deck to keep it as budget conscious as possible. It seems like a lot of the newer players, like in the Reddit subreddit, are looking for easier to build decks as they kind of build their collection. So this deck here itself has 8 rares, 5 mythics, and then all the other cards are uncommon or common. And the rares and mythics themselves are cards that you'd be using in other constructed decks. So I'm trying to avoid just crafting cards. So in the 1-drop, we have 3 Gutterbones. So it is a rare, but you'd be able to use this in a variety of Rakdos or Mardu aggro lists anyways. For Duress, basically it's like our Thoughtseize, try to take cards out of control decks or other mid-range decks. 4 Kitesail Freebooters, another kind of Duress effect but with a body. 4 Knight of Malice, so it has hexproof from a lot of the white-based removal and pumps up as a 3/2 first striker, which is quite effective. 3 Cast Downs, which is just another effective removal spell, gets rid of most of the threats right now. Midnight Reaper is our other rare. It draws us cards as our creatures die. We have a lot of small creatures, so this just keeps us having cards in hand at times. We're playing 3 Plaguecrafters. It's a way to have our opponents sack planeswalkers or creatures, or discard cards. Plays well with like Midnight Reaper and some of our small creatures. We can get Gutterbones back. 3 Ravenous Chupacabras, just more removal and a creature. 2 Vraska's Contempt as a catch-all removal for planeswalkers or creatures. So this is another useful rare. You'd be using it in pretty much any mid-range or control deck that plays black. So crafting 2 isn't the worst. I'm trying out 2 Karn, Scion of Urza, just gives us some card draw. Repeatedly, we don't really have card draw in black. There'll be something like either a Sign in Blood style card or some of the other cards that would be a little bit easier to play in something like this. So Karn fills that gap and is a useful card for a bunch of mid-range strategies. Our other mythic is 3 Doom Whispers. So this is how we hopefully close out the game quickly. It allows us to cycle through the top of our deck to find more action. And it's just a big body to begin with at 5 mana. And then we're playing 2 Eldest Reborn. It's good against control, good against other creature decks. We can reanimate creatures as well, so if we get some of our stuff killed, we can bring it back. And then for mana base, we're playing 3 Memorial of Follies, and then 21 Swamps. There is an option to play either something like Arch of Vraska. So let's pull that up. Why aren't you coming up? Arch of Vraska to draw cards, or Field of Ruin. Either of these can be something to consider. I want to try it out like this right now. If we find that we need the utility lands, we'll put those in. I just don't want to be caught up on land. And because we're not playing uh, like a lot of huge ramp, it doesn't make sense for us to play the mono black land from Dominaria. Cabal Stronghold, is it? Or where is it? Don't think we have any right now, actually. Cabal Stronghold. Because we're not really ramping into anything, we curve out F5. There's no real sense of playing this because it doesn't really net us anything advantage. That's more for like the mono black Banefire decks that like Ali Atrazi was playing. So we'll take it for a spin. I've yet to actually play with this deck, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to play ranked right now. Don't know how effective this deck is, so we've been on a pretty good streak. We finally gave in and started playing Sultai, which definitely feels like cheating. I don't have a fully tuned deck yet. I'm missing a couple cards, and I still am something like 20-3 with the deck. So as we get started, if you haven't done so already and you're looking for a free way to support the channel, if you hit the subscribe button in the bottom right, it's a great way to show your support and costs you absolutely nothing. So I think we'll keep this hand 2-drop into 3-drop. Seems good. Only thing that would have been better was a Duress on one. So it looks like we're against... it could be Phoenix, could be Mono Red, still unsure. So we'll get the Knight down. See if they have the shock, likely do because of the pause. Shivan Fire. So this indicates this is more of a control deck than Mono Red. The control decks will play... Oh, no. They're opting for the Shivan Fire, because usually you'll see shock out of them. So here we need to decide... I'm just going to play out the Plaguecrafter right now. So for a couple reasons here. This turns off Wizard's Lightning from them for playing for 1 mana, and it also prevents them from having a creature to attack in to turn on Spectacle. We want to cut off their card draw, because we weren't going to block right now with the Midnight Reaper. So they're doing this likely to turn on Spectacle, and then light up the stage. So it looks like a pretty stock mono red deck that's just playing Shivan Fire, I guess, to address some of the bigger threats. They play Skewer. It's pretty good. We can double spell this turn. So opponent has a Wizard's Lightning. They don't have a Wizard right now, so they'd be paying full cost for it. So we'll see also if they go to face or if they get rid of our Midnight Reaper. So it's not bad. We lose a life, but we do get to draw another card. Memorial, we can start by backing our creatures. Vraska's Contempt's good. So here we'll play out another Reaper and just get down the Memorial. So hopefully catch like a Chain Whirler or something with this. So they shock here. The more burn spells they use on our face or on our creatures, the better. We can start getting them back if need be. So Kitesail's good here. So I'm gonna lead off with Kitesail. See what's in our opponent's hand. So with the trigger on the stack, they can respond. So here, resolve, we'll take the action. So Banefire or Lightning Strike. So here I want to take the Lightning Strike. I want them to use the Banefire on the creature in order to kill it. If they want the Lightning Strike back, they will have... Otherwise, they have to discard whatever they draw or the Banefire. We are running pretty low on life, so we might have to Contempt one of our own creatures. So they Shivan Fire here, get back their spell. See if they Lightning Strike us. So here they Lightning Strike us down to 4, and if they draw a land with Banefire, they kill us. I think we just have to try to do this. Because holding up Vraska's Contempt gains us 2 life, but then we're pretty much dead anyways. Whereas with this, we put enough pressure on them. So they actually discard the Banefire here. So here we're going to decline. We're dead if we don't, so no sense. We also don't have Surveil available to us. We can't really afford to pay any life. So they would have had lethal on us if they just played out. This does give us a target for Vraska's Contempt, which is nice. That's not our own. They have Viashino. So them playing this, they actually can't get the extra damage in there. So they'd have 5 otherwise. So we don't have lethal anyways. So we'll hold back one of them. So this is good. We can play the land, get it back, and then play the Gutterbones again. And this is like, although it's a rare, like you can see the value here where we can keep reoccurring our creatures and applying pressure. So if opponent can't kill us this turn, they're dead, which would be quite nice that we actually were able to hold it off. They had lethal if they just kept the Banefire, but they got a little greedy with the risk factor. This is even better. If they're going to double Doom, hit us against Doom Whisper instead of the face. So here, I'm just going to get them to discard. So Viashino, so one burn spell alone won't kill us. And we got him. Not bad. So Chain Whirler was a little rough there. Would have killed our thing and then hold back the attack. But managed to get the win there. Let's re-roll this. Blue or green doesn't help for this quest. So we'll take it for another match. Pretty solid overall. I want to see how this deck plays against more control decks. A lot of the disruption elements are really good. But even something like Duress against mono red has a lot of hits. This hand's got a lot of disruption. I like. We're playing basically a lot of spells, but are stapled onto creatures. You have like a Duress, you have removal with Chupacabra. Like if this is a Phoenix list, we can really pick apart their hand. Because really, mainboard removal, they're only going to have shocks. They have Pteramander. Offer the trade here. Okay, so it's mono blue, it looks like. So we're going to take the Wizard's Retort. So it's mono blue and a splash red. So they're holding up Trickster and Spell Pierce here. Oh, so they have the Obsession. And then they're holding up Trickster or Spell Pierce if we have removal. No blocks. Interesting. First time I've seen the deck like this. They're playing F for light up the stage. So here, well, think we attack him with both. If they want to play the Trickster, they can. But we'll just start picking apart their hand. They have the one spell in the graveyard. So they can Curious Obsession on top. Hopefully we draw something else, because I don't really want to play out the Karn here. It's just going to get Spell Pierced and lets them get Pteramander cheaper. Of note too, the second creature gets around some of our Edict effects, like Plaguecrafter. So here I'm just going to attack with everything. We got to race them. This is good. We can see if they could drew like another remove or counter spell, like a Wizard's Retort, and then just trade it off afterwards. And this is what I like about these types of cards. We're applying pressure still, and we're actually winning the race, even after this next attack. Okay, so the Wizard's Lightning here. So we'll take the retort back. No blocks for us. Like this, they have to try to draw into a counterspell. If we block, they're guaranteed the counterspell. And if we get this Doom Whisperer down, I feel like we're in a good spot. So here, it's just attacking with the Gutterbones. They can double block one of these, which I want to hold them back because then they can attack with the Storm Tamers. And then them trading off. Sweet. So unless they have another Trickster to tap it down, we can hold back Pteramander. They do have enough to adapt it, and then it would be 8 power. So it's something to be in mind of. Or 7 power. See if they're willing to trade it off. No, we don't want to surveil. So they might have a dive down, but then we could Vraska's Contempt it at least. And we still keep the Freebooter. So not terrible there. So we'll attack with 1 to see if we can get the Gutterbones back. Want to try to get 1 more mana, so then we can hold up and pay for Spell Pierce as well. Okay, Memorial's not bad here. Attack in here. This gets us Gutterbones back. Play it out. I think we're in a pretty good position now. Next turn we could force them to pay for a Vraska's Contempt. Okay, so they have a Wizard's Retort and a Storm Tamer. So we'll attack with both, see if they want to trade off. That's fine. I want them to pass their turn and lose the retort. That's perfect. If they want to waste this here, be my guest. We can always buy it back if need be. Actually, you know what? The play probably should have been just hold up our mana, buy back Doom Whisper. So we don't have enough for Eldest Reborn. They do have Spell Pierce open. So I think we attack with both, and then we'll try to jam out a Karn. Okay, so they have Trickster. See what they target. So do we want to... It's fine. See where they block. So they actually opt not to, so let's put a pause on their upkeep. Get rid of one of the Storm Tamers here. So this way if they have something, they have to pay mana on their turn. So if they have a second Spell Pierce, that's fine, but really we're just trying to do this to gain some life. So like that, we've got them to sack. If they want to attack in with Trickster, they can, but then they're dead on the lethal. We can Eldest Reborn next turn. So the Obsession's a pretty good draw for them. Obviously no blocks there. They get the opt. So we'll see what they do here. Another line's good. This protects us from Spell Pierce if they drew it. It's fine, that's not how Dive Down works anyways, so we win. So taking down basically mono blue minus the Djinns and mono red with the deck. We'll give it one more, see how it plays, but this deck's actually been surprisingly a lot better than I thought it'd be. Just having a lot of disruption. There we took basically 3 counter spells from their hand, while still using those discard spells to apply a lot of pressure. And the 1/2 bodies in Siren Storm Tamers actually were quite efficient at just blocking in that case. We'll try this hand out. We don't have any like bigger threats, but we can see what our opponent's playing. So here, take the Skewer. So we saved ourselves 3 life. And now we can take the Lightning Strike. Ooh, this one's tricky. take the Lightning Strike because this will have to draw them into another spell that they use then on the Freebooter. Knight of Malice is nice here. So we're going to hold back. So here, just block as such. The first strike will kill it, and then we just take 2. Yeah. Opponent didn't read our card, so we're not going to block, so we're going to attack. And then we have the cast down if they play the Runaway Steamkin. So their sequencing is odd there. Just kill that. Vraska's Contempt's a nice draw. Just pass the turn. So we can just keep applying pressure. So Frenzy's a really good draw for them here. So we're just going to clear their board. And then block. And then we can start applying some more pressure. All these lines don't help. Frenzy also makes killing the Freebooter not really that valuable for them. I think they've hit 2 Lava Runners, so it's really the only thing with haste. Yeah, if they're paying 3 mana just to hit us in the face, should probably win that race. Just gonna hold on to that. We don't need anything really beyond 5 mana. Chupacabra is really good here, gets rid of the Steamkin. That was probably one of our best draws. And we're threatening lethal next turn if they don't kill one of our creatures. Opponent thinks twice about it, so they shock. That's fine. They're gonna have to pop their Experimental Frenzy anyways. So they're gonna sack it anyways. So I'd rather catch... Oh, so they opt not to. So they might be trying to use this to turn on Spectacle. So we're going to kill this in response. We don't want them to start chaining together mana. That's how they beat us. And this has forced them to blow up the Frenzy. So we're going to do this now. It forces them to sack one. And we can get in 2 damage here. Just end the turn. So they have at least 1 removal spell for a creature. Most likely have a second one. Chain Whirler is pretty good. That holds us back. They kill 1. Kill the other. Not the best, but we can... Okay. So it's their Chain Whirler versus the top of our deck. It's a great draw for them. Chupacabra is pretty good here. Also forces that they can't attack unless they have a removal spell. It's pretty good. Best creature right now. Probably the Chain Whirler. Depending on their board though, might even be worthwhile. So we down tick here. So now they have to have an answer, or it holds back a creature that they might have. And then we can always get Chain Whirler to deal the last damage anyways. So they're actually dead on our upkeep. We get their Chain Whirler, it deals 1 damage, and we win the game. So managed to survive 3-0 with the deck. So this deck might be legit. So we'll wrap it up for now. We'll probably take it to maybe a rank ladder if you're a fan of the deck, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't done so already, drop a subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel, and it really helps me build things out on this side. Thanks for watching, and have a great one.